This video is probably the first video you might want to watch just to show how you can open the box and get started playing within 10 minutes using the beginner rules. This is the box itself. Standard size game box, not the size of Monopoly. Inside you have your red team, your blue team, your dice, and markers, which I'll explain in a second. Let's remove that. And this is how a basic game would start. You can see here, you have some extra pieces, and your dice, and typically you might have a red and blue dice rolls, which will look like coolers. And optionally, you can get white one as well, so you can decorate it to your liking with your favorite team. This is my alma mater, University of Miami, with their colors and their decals and so forth. All right, that's not so important as it is to the game. But you can also see on the side, you have these markers that slide up and down for the score and for the downs. And the same marker is used to slide up and down the board for the goal line. For the line of scrimmage. All right, so at the beginner level, you can use only 3 linemen, which is sufficient to get started. And what you want to know is just 2 simple rules. The back, can we see that? Sure. Okay. The back can move 2 sideways, 2 back, just talking about horizontal and vertical, but you can also take a shortcut here or there, and 3 forward, which is 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So that's your range for any back. And that's all you need to know. Except that you can also reach any place you can go 1, 2, 3. You can go 1 diagonal and 1 up. 1 up and 1 diagonal. So you use less energy. Okay? And then you have your football, which is adorable. Cute little football. And you place that in any back. Here I've colored the edges white so you can see it from above. So that's your quarterback. And you place that right there. And here's a running back I can put on the side. And the defense, you could have a spy here. You can have a rushing back. You can have a rush. You can play them up tight and close. 1, 2, 3. Where's my other back? I use this guy for now. And then, or you can play it deep and give him a chance and use this guy as a safety. Okay? So, that's how you get started playing. This would be a typical formation. But you can move them any way you want. The backs have to be outside the line of scrimmage, and the line of scrimmage, between the line of scrimmage, the linemen have to be. So that's all the rules you need to know. The offense will roll. You can use your hands or the dice. Here it's 2 and 3. And you can use 1 dice, 2, 3 and 1 rather, for the linemen. Like, for example, if they had a rusher over here, you might want to move this guy back 1 so that if he comes at 1, 2, 3, you can sort of block him. And let's put this guy there then. And then the rest for the backs, 1, 2, 3, like that. So that's would be a typical first move. And for the defense, here they have a double 5. When you have a double for beginner and college level, you get 1 extra point at the end of your roll. So this guy would go 1, 2, 3, 4. He can go 4, 5 and push him up there. but the defense wants to stay in the block because then you can exit the block. So you just want to use 4, take one of those off, 1, 2, 3, and then maybe move this guy. Maybe you want to change your mind and come help him. 1, 2, 3. You can move 3 this way as well. And then 1 extra. Obviously, you want to come here because now you're right on top of the quarterback. And then so on and so forth. We'll do one more play just so you get the idea. Let me zoom in so you can see it a little closer. So right now, the defensive back is right about to sack your quarterback. You roll, you got 1, 3, another bad roll, but you can still save yourself. This was a good idea because you cannot back out of a block as an offensive lineman. And so I'm going to take 1, 2 for my quarterback, let him run away a little bit, and 3 for this guy to block him. Now he's forced to run around or get into a block. So that's 3. And then 1, what could we do? If we had 2, I'd push these guys, 1, 2 to give me more room, but I only have a 1 left over. So I could use them for the linemen or for the backs. So I'll just use it for this guy just to force him to keep up with me. I see a big opening over here. So if I can get behind him, remember, the defensive lineman, the red, can only go 2 backwards. And he can go 3 forward. So sooner or later, I'm going to get behind him. So then the defense would go, and on until you might want to pass. So he would probably definitely want to get in front of him. But let's say he doesn't, and he just wants to be aggressive. He goes 1, 2, 3. He cannot use a shortcut because this is the blocking zone. So he's forced to go 1, 2, 3 around him. And this guy can go sideways. Now, as far as the block is concerned, let me take the quarterback out of there for a second. This offensive lineman is protecting this grid right here. And since there's 1 blue offensive lineman on the side, he cannot go here either. But he could come out here when the quarterback's in this direction. So they line up sort of like this. So he can come out this way, but he can only go in a straight line. He can't just turn for the half blocks. This is a full block. These 2 sides are half blocks, so he can go 1, 2, 3. So he might want to go out here, and he might want to, the defensive lineman can back out. He can come out 1 because he feels like the quarterback is running and so forth. But let's fast forward to a pass, assuming the quarterback doesn't get, and let's say he overlooked that or didn't have enough energy, and now I get behind him, right? Well, then I would throw a pass to this receiver, and this guy only being able to move 1, 2 backwards or 1, 2. He can only get that close. This guy can only go 1. This happens to be a star back. As you can see, it's much longer. So he can go 4 or 2 diagonal, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, same thing. And he still can't reach him. So then that would be a completion, and then we continue running until he either scores a touchdown or they catch him. If he could reach this particular spot, then we would throw a challenging die, and we'll talk about that later. But that's basically all there is to get started playing the game. The lineman could move 2 forward, 2 sideways, and 1 back. And the backs can move 3 forward, 2 back, and 2 sideways. And now you're ready to play.